morning and welcome back to the lecture series on tribal studies in India, interdisciplinary approaches and perspectives. So, today we are going to first understand what is social media, and following that we will understand the impact of social media, the influence of social media in tribal life in India. So, social media and tribes in India is our topic for today. Now, when we talk about social media, it refers to a category of online platforms and websites that are internationally designed for empowering the users to create and share their own content, to establish and cultivate relationships, and engage in various online communicative and interactive practices. So, it is a way of connecting people and also getting across one's personal information, personal opinion, status. It is a way of showcasing one's talent, showcasing one's merit and qualifications and what one has to offer, in terms of job, in terms of one's, professional profile and so on. Social media actually boosts one's, image or profile in the public domain according to one's own need and desire. So, the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology in Government of India defines social media as web or mobile platforms that provide the individuals or organizations with the capacity for interactive communication as well as the exchange of content that are produced by an individual user. So, social media's arrival is transforming the dynamics of social interaction and information distribution. It differs from traditional media, which includes the print media such as newspaper and journal, radio or television, and it is different from the traditional media in two crucial ways. So, let us see how social media is different from our traditional media such as newspaper, radio, television, journals, pamphlets and so forth. Firstly, the sheer quality of user created content far exceeds that originating from journalistic or expert sources. And secondly, its viral capacity for potentially exponential information spread through personal networks and platform integration, which significantly diminishes centralized control over the flow of information. So, there are two aspects. The traditional media would produce news or information in a controlled manner and also disseminate it with a centralized control. It would not be spread or passed on indiscriminately. There would be some screening, there would be some censor, and there would be a central or centralized authority distinguishing correct from incorrect. So, now we see that an individual who is on social media platform has much more agency in creating information. So, as a result we have bulk of information being created, every day, each moment by hundreds of thousands of users, and this sieving mechanism, the sieving mechanism to separate the false information or fake news from the correct information becomes a little fragile. It is a little problematic to separate the two. So, in a way the recipient of any news on social media is vulnerable, is in a way exposed to fake news or information, especially if she is unaware, if she is uninitiated to the whole dynamics and process of social media. So, social media enables greater agency for an individual, but social media also unleashes the possibility of fake news, and because the news is unchecked, a lot of people fall prey to unverified baseless information which may cater to fraudulence, hate mongering, fear mongering, among other detrimental consequences or effects. So, and it spreads very fast thanks to the technology boom that we are experiencing today. News or information moves very fast. There is the concept of a viral news or a viral video or information or image, and it is later found out a lot of times that many of these information or data are unverified, they are doctored video. So, they can be used for political purpose, for spreading social hatred and so forth. So, as users we need to be really very careful while navigating the social media platform, while downloading any kind of journal paper or scholarly article from any website. We have to see the source. Same goes with online news. We have to look at the source. That is highly recommended. Now, through its interactive and collaborative nature, social media facilitates the development and endurance of online communities. Social media enables people from various strata of the society, different parts of the globe, to come together, form a community, a virtual community on social media. These could be communities that are experts on a certain scholarly or academic topic. The exchange actually facilitates, adds to knowledge. So, it could be a scholarly community, it could be a linguistic community, community based on language, community based on religion, community of people who are coming from a particular country or a certain part of the world, So, some kind of commonality that people have identified with each other. There are different societies and we subscribe to these societies, we become members of these societies, and hence we are part of one particular group on social media where we exchange information. Now, these social media communities can be utilized for promoting awareness of diverse issues as well as to gather user feedback on aspects such as product preferences, service delivery, endorsements, policy making, public image creation and service evaluation. Think of any online service, delivery service such as Amazon or Flipkart. We buy a product through evaluating, through looking at the reviews. Similarly, I mean, everything has become a product now. Even a course such as the one I am teaching right now is a product. People enroll for a course based on the evaluation, based on the feedback. So, social media actually is very important in selling an image, creating an image, creating ideology, creating ideas and some readiness about things that exist around us. So, how is this product? When we say product in today's consumerist society, product also refers to an academic course that a teacher is offering. Even a person is a product that a company is looking to hire. So, how am I as a product, as someone who fits into a job position? So, for that I would need to put up my resume, my academic qualification and the qualities that I possess as a person. So, it enables, a social media promotes awareness, it enables forming an idea about something. And although we are navigating social media in individual capacity, we are actually associating with innumerable other people in terms of checking their feedback, in terms of helping others by putting up my own feedback, be it about a book I have read, a film that I have watched, a restaurant that I have explored for the first time. So, it actually enables service evaluation. And if we are signing petition letters in a more politicized context, if we are signing petition letters resisting something or kind of pushing a cause, a social cause, such as in the context of the tribal studies, if we are trying to push some cause for a tribal community that is fast becoming extinct or that is endangered, then we are also pushing some kind of policy formation, policy creation via social media. So, social media can be a very powerful, a very significant medium for creating impact on the society, on different social organizations, on political decisions, on governmental decisions and so forth. So, in this context we have to understand a lack of uniformity prevails in our general socio-political and economic circumstances as far as the tribal communities' access and usage of social media is concerned across India. How far and how much do the tribal communities explore the social media? How many of them really have access to mobile phones, computers and other such electronic devices that connect them to social media? Forget about the traditional media, perhaps that has somewhat reached even the remote tribal areas, but the current social media platforms that can be connected through electronic devices are in many cases unreachable for the tribal communities. So, there is this asymmetrical access to information as well as to creating of information. In contrast to the rest of the country, tribes in the northeastern part of India, however, demonstrate higher levels of literacy and digital connectivity. This divergence is largely owing to the targeted government initiatives and the demographic significance of tribal populations in these particular northeastern states. In this regard, scholar and critic S.R. Sharma observes that irrespective of demographic and socio-economic distinctions, individuals living in the northeastern region are demonstrating a growing trend of connecting and communicating with one another through social media platforms. So, usage of social media is incumbent on a number of factors including literacy rate, the government policies that have impacted a particular society and the common populations, the general populations, participation in social activities, their awareness about the larger politics, political happenings, all these things also determine how far social media has been able to penetrate a society and how far a society in turn is able to use the social media to their best advantage. So, social media platforms serve as informational and empowering tools for the youth in the northeastern region of India, facilitating personal and community level change. For the tribal youth professionals, these platforms offer significant avenues for marketing, networking as well as identifying the business opportunities. Further, we see that the social media platforms function as a space where employers can connect with potential employees and unemployed individuals can seek employment according to their qualification and their need and what they have to offer. So, social media platforms have generated numerous employment opportunities for the tribals and they have opened up novel avenues for income generation. They also facilitate political transformations through providing social movements with an efficient and cost effective means of disseminating, circulating information and mobilizing the individuals, mobilizing and making the individuals aware of what is happening around. And the good part of what I said, facilitating political transformation, circulating information, one important part of this whole process is that it is A, efficient and B, cost effective. It is not a very costly affair. Putting up some kind of notice, some kind of information on social media is not a costly affair at all. So, even the less advantaged or less privileged marginal communities such as the tribals can make use of the social media, and in that way they can grow in very many ways in terms of economy, in terms of social agency or social bargaining position, in terms of the political demands and the political policy making and so forth. So, a significant recent shift involves the increasing convergence of the audiences with the users, with individuals actively contributing content to platforms that are established by media sources, right. So, in this regard, Nikhil Kumar Singhmar finds that the tribal communities are increasingly leveraging and accessing social media as a tool for empowerment across multiple dimensions, and hence it enables them, it boosts their growth and development in different fields. Technological access now enables greater awareness of tribal rights and culture, fostering self as well as collective identity formation. Now, despite educational limitations, the digital literacy facilitated by social media enables the tribal youth to become key agent in demanding essential infrastructure such as sanitary products. So, it becomes a platform for articulating one's demands. For example, demand for something as basic as clean drinking water, better housing facilities, schooling facilities and so forth. So, additionally, social media platforms serve as crucial resources for mobilizing collective concerns and action against unjust development, thereby amplifying the issues of displacement and rehabilitation. So, social media also props up the cause of the tribal people as a collective entity, and it also expedites or catalyzes certain actions that they demand. It expedites certain reaction from the larger society. It could be the non-tribal society too, how they react to what is happening in the different tribal regions. For example, the cause or the case of unjust development, amplifying issues of displacement and rehabilitation. So, all these information are now being floated on social media by individuals. An individual feels more empowered in the presence of social media, because they do not have to depend on one centralized information, a formal media such as newspaper or a TV show or TV news anymore. They can advertise their own qualities, they can look for their jobs, they can talk about their own concerns or their own crisis on social media, and thereby reach out to a large number of audience, interact with people. And sometimes, very curiously, very intriguingly, social media takes up the job or the role of resolving larger issues, with too many people communicating on a certain platform who do not even know each other. They at least put in some effort to resolve larger issues, larger social or national issues on social media. It does have its interesting outcomes in very extreme events. It could also be deemed as something undesirable and even something contributing to ill feeling and malice. So, as far as the tribes are concerned, these platforms also provide a space to articulate health and nutrition disparities and hazards, exposing the lack of basic amenities and developmental exclusion. Moreover, social media is instrumental in reclaiming and reinforcing tribal identity, thereby countering the erosion that is caused through interface with modern institutions and facilitating thereby the preservation of languages and traditional knowledge. So, through social media, tribal people from different parts of the country, and by extension from even outside of the country, can connect, and it reinforces, enables them to reclaim their tribal identity and prevent erosion or kind of dilution of their traditional practices, rituals. It enables them to discuss their different the different aspects that make up tribal identity, such as preservation of their languages, preservation of their knowledge and practices, and teaching it to the next generation. That is challenge that any community faces, and that can be met to an extent through creating a platform for active discussions on social media. So, social media becomes instrumental, it plays a momentous role in holding the meaning, the identity of any, the significance of any community, and passing it on to the youth, to the next generation, so that it becomes an enabler of traditional knowledge, of languages, of traditional practices, meanings of rituals, and so forth. According to Kame Baiju, tribal folk forms and knowledge are gaining popularity on social media platforms such as YouTube and Facebook, generating significant revenue for the content creators. So, there are two things happening simultaneously. Knowledge is being disseminated for the tribals and even beyond the community, and the one who creates the knowledge, the user, is making some income out of knowledge creation, out of knowledge generation. So, that sounds like a very fair and healthy exchange actually. However, tribal communities, the originators of this content, including knowledge on traditional medicine, arts, language, songs, in many events receive hardly or no benefits. This is because of the absence of adequate legal frameworks. So, when we are talking about presence of certain legal frameworks and legalities that kind of control the usage of social media, or that control ownership on any knowledge creation, knowledge processing, here we are referring to copyright, the issue of copyright, patent, or specific tribal laws that would protect their traditional knowledge and intellectual property rights. That becomes a very, very important point. How to protect the traditional knowledge and intellectual property rights? In the absence of copyright or patent, the creator of knowledge, the processor of this knowledge, the disseminator of the knowledge can easily be engulfed by a more powerful source, or a more powerful entity, right. So, that way tribal communities are liable, they are susceptible to deception, or to kind of unfair deal or unfair exchange. So, this results in a situation where non-tribal producers profit immensely from tribal cultural heritage without sharing any compensation with the rightful owners, who are the producer, who are the creator of knowledge, of tribal knowledge. So, to conclude our lecture, we see that social media offers Indian tribes valuable opportunities for self-representation, community building, and advocating of their rights, demands, and culture. However, these benefits come with significant risks of cultural and economic exploitation, particularly concerning their traditional knowledge, which necessitates proactive legal as well as ethical considerations. So, while the tribal knowledge should be up out there on social media. There also needs to be a sieving mechanism, a way of channelizing the benefit back to the creator of the knowledge, to the one who is processing the knowledge. The benefit should not be, asymmetrically taken away by someone who does not even belong to, who is not a part of the tribal knowledge system or the tribal ecosystem. So, with this we come to the end of our lecture here today. Let us continue with the topic of social media in our next lecture. Thank you.